Now, before we get into the video, if you guys would like to join a group of like-minded individuals, people who are serious about making money in the short term and in the long term, then join my private group. Now, the results do speak for itself. In the last 2 years, I've approximately made about 1000x on all my calls, and these will continue to print in the coming bull run. Now, I also have a free Telegram group. All the links are in the description. Now, before we get into the video, right, this is entirely my opinion. I don't want no one crying in the comment section, if your coin is in the not worth section, or it's in the 5 to 10x section, 10 to 20x section, if you think you can do 100x. This is entirely my opinion. They are in those sections because either the vesting schedule is harsh or they ran too much. There's not much legs for it to do any more than what it has already done. Now, if you got into these tokens early, then fair enough. But from this point on, if they're in the categories of not worth 5 to 10x, 10 to 20x, ultimately, that is my opinion. Now, I will also be dropping a 100x gem within this video, a very secret gem that not a lot of people know of or know the correct, tokenomics behind this project. So make sure you watch the entire video in order to get this token. Now, the first token on the list is OXO. Now, OXO is one of those tokens that have run significantly. However, it is a good project. I like the concept. So I will put it in a 5 to 10x category from this point on. It has run significantly. ChainGPT, another decent project. Launchpad, but have multiple other use cases. They've got some good partnerships. I would put it in the 10 to 20x from this point on. It is a good project. Now, DCI is one of those projects you kind of trade. It's not one you hold long term. This is because if you look at the wallets, the marketing wallet has already dumped around 200k, and Mexi holds 15% of the supply. And you know how Mexi do with these low caps. They just keep dumping it. This is why the price action for this is just been continuously dumping. So I would only trade this, during an AI and GPU hype. Like during that narrative, I would only trade this. I would not hold this as a long-term investment. This is one that you trade during the narrative, and I think you can probably do like a 10 to 20x from this point on. Now, Delicium is one of the best AI projects in the sense where they have a working product. They're backed by Google and Microsoft. They are most likely going to get a tier 1 exchange listing, more likely Binance. There was a voting poll for Binance on which projects people want to be listed next, and AGI and AI Tech did win that vote. So we could potentially see them too on Binance. They've got more than enough funding to pay for the listing. So I would say, conservatively, I would put AGI from this point on around a 30x, but I think it can potentially do between a 40 to 50x as well. It is on the map, but I would say conservatively a 30x is possible. Now, Render, very good project, the best GPU project. I think you can potentially do a 5 to 10x from this point on. It has ran significantly. It is higher in market cap, but as a project, Render is one of the best. Now, GTAI, this is a decent project. I like the concept. The concept is very good, but the vesting schedule for this is really harsh. So for that reason, I don't think it is worth the investment. I'll just put it in this sector. It would potentially do like another 5 to 10x max, but I just don't think, with these new projects that come out and most of the vesting is catered to early investors, there's other picks you can invest into that will make you more money than GTAI. Now, AI Tech, is one of the best GPU projects. They're backed by the European governments. They solve a real, GPU, CPU problem in Europe. The team is doxed. A lot of GPU projects are not doxed, but this one is doxed. The team is capable. They've got a lot of exchange listings. These guys will get on the tier 1 exchange, most likely Binance as well. So I think, if I'm being conservative, I would put it in the 30x. But with the market cap now, I think you can push for 50x. I think 50x is on the cards for AI Tech. It is possible. Chirply, is another very good project. Micro cap. It is a little bit niche AI marketing, for nano influencers. But, they've got some very good partnerships with Sony, Warner Music. So I think with those partnerships, as well as, the grant they got from Binance Labs, I think it was like over $8 million grant from Binance, to develop their project. That's always bullish. So I think they can get some good tier 1 exchange listings with that money. They can develop their product. I think Chirply, with the micro cap it has, it's like $3-4-5 million in market cap in that region. I think a 50x is possible for Chirply from this point on. I think it is possible. Claw AI, one of the decent GPU coins. Now, I would say this has run significantly. I made around a 50x on this. My private group also made a 50x on this. I would potentially put this, from this point on, like a 10 to 20x. I think that is possible for Claw AI. The only downside to this project is, there's no docs team. Maybe like a 10x should be achievable for Claw AI. Maybe like a 15, 20x around that region. Now, SDAO is, this is one of the projects I would not invest into. It is a launchpad for AGIX, but if you look at the price action, this has kind of been like a stable coin, for literally the last 2 years. So for that reason, I just wouldn't touch this project. No one's going to invest into any launchpads from now on because all the vesting schedules for private and seed sales are going to exceed the bull run. So there's no incentive to get into these private and seed sales now if they're going to go past the bull run. So anything to do with private seed sale projects, I don't think they're going to perform well from this point on. Now ASI. This is a combination of AGIX, Fetch, and Ocean. And I think the market cap is probably going to be above 10 billion, maybe even 20 billion. It hasn't launched just yet, but I just don't think it's worth the investment, bro. Look, with the market cap of that, how many X's do you really think it can do? I think it's more catered to early investors. It's more catered for early investors to make money rather than retail. Nuclei, one of the better projects, it aims to solve a real data problem within AI. And they do have a bunch of Web2, Web3 companies actually utilizing their product. So I do think, the only downside, to this project is the vesting schedule. It is very, very early investor based. And, a lot of them are still up. So if you can get this below seed prices, if not the same prices as seed people, I think you can potentially do a 50x with this project because it is backed by Alex Becker. He's going to be shilling, this project a lot. And they're already utilized by a lot of good companies. Like IONET is utilizing them. There's a bunch of other companies all is utilizing them. So I think this can perform. You just have to buy this at the right time. The vesting is still harsh, but if you can get it, I think the market cap is like 6 million right now. If you can get this around 2-3 million, I think a 50x is on the cards, because at some point if it goes below seed prices, all the other investors above them are going to be down, so they're going to stop selling. And the seed prices, they've already made a bunch of money now. They're going to keep some for the bull run. So I would potentially wait for those prices before I buy this. Now, our cash, very good project, has ran significantly. The market cap's around 700 million. Maybe can do another 5 to 10x from this point on. AIT, it's a bit risky. No docs team, no real good exchanges. I don't think they can afford any more decent exchanges anyways. So I would just put this in the not worth category. It is a decent project. I like the concept. But as an investment, we're here to make money. I think there's just better investment to this. Like I only hold 4 to 5 AI projects, one DGM one. I hold AI Tech, AGI, and I will be dropping my secret gem in this as well. I think that one can perform really well. That one is the DGM that can do 100x. Now ARC, decent project, has ran, retraced almost all the way back down to his November lows. But as an investment, or might do like a 5 to 10x from this point on. I just don't think it will do any more than that. The concept was decent, when there wasn't many AI projects. Now there's a bunch of new AI projects, they're way better than ARC. So I just wouldn't buy this project. Tau, the Bitcoin of AI, decent project, very good project. I got into this quite early, around $40. But right now, the most it can do is like a 5 to 10x, I would say, no more than that. Dex Check, as I explained, these are, sometimes a project can be really good, but just not worth the investment. And Dex Check is one of them. Dex Check is a project you can use it, but you don't have to invest into it. Because the launchpads, the only reason people invested into this was specifically for the launchpads. Now that all these vesting schedules are going to go past the bull run, a lot of people have unstaked their tokens and sold. This is why you've seen a price action come down for this project significantly. And I do think, in the bull run, not many people are going to be looking to get private and seed sales. So for that reason, I just wouldn't invest into this project right now. It is one that you can use. It is a very good tool to use. EMC, another decent project. AI, Depin, RWA. They do have an RWA license. They are pretty good. The team is docs. The only concerning part with this project is the tokenomics. Now, the tokenomics for this is horrendous. The market cap's around 7 million, 8 million, between 7 to 10 million, but the fully diluted is over like 300 million. So that's going to throw a lot of people off. Now, there have been rumors. I've spoken to the team. They said they're going to fix the tokenomics. So if they do fix it and it does look appealing, it could be worth to grab a bag. But right now, I think if it fixed the tokenomics, it could potentially do a 30 to 50x. But I would put it in the 30x if they fix the tokenomics. If they don't, then I would put it in the not worth category. I don't think it would be worth the investment. Now, Layer AI, for those of you that don't know, these guys launched as Crypto GPT. They are a layer 2 ZK rollup on AI. But the only thing is, the team is incompetent. If you look at the team's background, the guy who develops, who's like the engineer behind this project, he doesn't have a LinkedIn, he has no background, so you don't even know if this guy's legit. And they've also launched as Crypto GPT, rugged it, and then relaunched as Layer AI. So for that reason, I just don't think it's worth the investment. I would rather put my money in other projects over than Layer AI. Now, Sensei, this is 100x potential gem. Because the market cap is only 1 million, the utility, it is AI agent. We've seen from Delicium how well AI agents can perform. This is one of those projects I would say can perform really well in the bull run. They've got a Dox team, they've got very good backers. They're on Base, Arbitrum, and Ethereum, so they're on multiple bullish chains. But the best thing about this is under $1 million in market cap. The utility behind this project is endless. You can use it for multiple things. It's very unique. There's not many projects in a crypto space where you can create a replica of yourself and then, you can potentially use it for dementia. Let's say you got dementia and a lot of people, let's say you forget everything about yourself. You can ultimately talk to your replica and your replica can remind you of who you was before. In terms of this concept of digital immortality, this is ultimately the best way to do it because, with these chips and stuff, I think it's too early for that. We don't have the technology to be creating chips for us to be living forever. The best way to live forever is to have a replica of yourself that can live on even after you pass away. So for that reason, for that unique use case, the AI agent can be used as a personal assistant. You can even send your personal assistant, this replica to work. The more you interact with it, the more it becomes like you, the more it sounds like you, the more it becomes human. So eventually it will get so good that you can send this to go work for you while you can do other stuff on the side. So for that reason, the utility is very unique. I would put it in the 100x because the vesting schedule as well is really good for this project. After August is the last unlock. After August, there's only a 1x dilution to the end of 2025 and the market cap will probably be around 2 million. So for this to do 100x is only 200 million. Now that's very achievable for a high quality AI project in a bull run because I think AI is going to be the leading narrative. Now GLQ, another project I made good returns on around 50x. My private community did make a lot of money on AI because I was bullish on AI and I still am. AI has pumped 2022, 2023, 2024 and I think it will pump again. GLQ is another good project. Is one that it started off as something else. It has changed from when I originally bought it. But I do think from this point on, it could potentially do another 10x. I think a 10x is reasonable for GLQ. They are a decent project. Now, this ain't worth the investment. This is the graph. Graph ain't worth the investment. It's an old project. It's not going to do much. There's no point even investing into it. Same thing with ICP. Good project, just been suppressed. I just don't think they're going to perform. We're here to make money. Just put your money into the best projects rather than taking risks on these, securities. Octavia, same thing. Good project. But the vesting schedule was really harsh. I just think it's going to be suppressed by the early investors. There's no point investing into it. Ring AI, very good project. The only downside is no Dox team, 5 tax, the usual. They don't have a Dox team. They've come out during the hype, the AI and GPU hype. But as a product, the concept is really good. They're using their tax effectively. They're using it for marketing, centralized exchange listings. So they are utilizing the tax effectively. If it comes down a little bit more, I would consider buying a bag. I think you can potentially do like a 30 to 50x. I think a 30x is more reasonable. Now, Octa, one of the projects that was out like 2022, they haven't done anything significant. They kind of over branched themselves into different categories. And now they don't really specialize in any of them. This has done like a 4x since the last year and a half now. So as an investment, I just don't think it's worth. But I think it can potentially do another 5 to 10x from this point on. If you're looking for 5 to 10x, this is a decent list. But, I'm not here to make a 5 to 10x. I'd rather make 30, 40, 50, 100x. Node AI. Now, Node AI is one that was in my private group. We ultimately, the people that bought made a 200x on it. But as an investment now, I just don't think it's worth the investment. It has ran significantly. They don't really have any decent centralized exchange listings. I just don't think it's worth the investment. OFN is another good one. Good project. If you got in private seed, ultimately it would be worth the investment. But the vesting schedule is really harsh. I think like 37% of the supply is catered to early investors. That's why I just don't think it's worth the investment. There's better AI projects than this. Ori Chain, another good project. Layer 1 Oracle AI is a very good project, has run decent amount. I think it still has the legs for another 10x, maybe 5 to 10x from this point on. Pal AI, not really worth it. Maybe like a 5 to 10x from this point on. This ain't worth it. This project is not good. TARS is decent. Backed by the Solana Foundation, utility is pretty decent. I think you can do another 10 to 20x from this point on. It has run significantly. That's the only concern. But if you can come down a little bit more and you can get it at a decent price, I think you can pull a 20x from this point on. Now, Alt is one of fundamentally one of the best AI projects in the crypto space, because unlike a lot of these other AI projects, Sensei has a working product, but a lot of these projects don't have a lot of working product. Like, for example, Pow's decent, I would say, but a lot of what project? Layer AI don't have a working product, what I'm saying? But Alt is one that is being utilized by institutions. There is so many institutions that is utilizing Alt. You got the likes of Dow, Lenovo, Seagate, Tencent Cloud. There's a few top universities in America that is using them. You got the likes of Google, Microsoft, personally investing in the development of the project. So Google and Microsoft have given them a grant. Now, one of the most bullish aspects of this project is the fact that they are self-sufficient. They earn $8 million annually, and they do 30% buybacks every single quarter. So just in the last quarter, they made around 2 million, and they use that 30% as buybacks, and they also do a bunch of burns. They've already burnt 3.5% of the circulating supply. The dilution for this is really good. There's only a 2.2x dilution till the end of the bull run, to the end of 2025. So the dilution is minimum. It has retraced a little bit, but I think it's almost a very good time to start buying this project, because they're going to get tier 1 exchange listing next month. They just got KuCoin a few days ago. A project that is earning money isn't going to dump their own tokens. So for that reason, I think is one of the better projects that can potentially do a 50x from this point on. If you can get this sub $20 million in market cap, I think a 50 to 100x is on the cards for this project in a bull run. Now, Dynex, I don't think it's worth the investment. You pulled like a 200x, but since then it's just been acting like a stable coin, going up, coming down, going up, coming down. I just don't think it's worth the investment. I don't think it's going to do well. Via, same thing. I made like almost 100x on this project. But as an investment now, the most you can probably do from this point on is like a 5 to 10x max. No more than that. And that is the list. Now, if you guys do want to join a private community, I do have the best private community in the crypto space. If you guys look at this, we've made hundreds and hundreds of X's, on long-term investments. I think in the last 2 years, I've approximately made around 1,000x. So if you guys do want to join, I do have a secret couple gems in the private group that you guys won't have access to. I'm also dropping a new gem, an RWA coin, which I know a lot of people have been lacking, not being bullish on RWA, but RWA is going to be it's going to be a surprising narrative. So you guys make sure to check that out. The link is in the description. I appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.